Ah, that's just timed perfectly. For when the sound goes on, it starts playing. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more Solasta, Crown of the Magister. This is your host, Quasar Knight, on another fun adventure for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, or rather, a copyright-friendly version. Now, I had quite a bit of fun. I pretty much finished up the Lost Valley, several of the quest lines, all but one. I also started playing a user-converted version of the Temple of Elemental Evil. Hold on as we scroll down. Wait, where is it? It's streaming. Streaming back up. Okay, there, that's it. I was worried we lost it for a moment, but no, we didn't. Now, from our last session, we found that Crown of the Magister, an ancient relic from pre-Cataclysm times that seems to get more powerful if gems are put into it. Our character, the Halfling Warlock, is wearing and thus attuned to the crown, and she has an intuitive sense of knowing where the other gems may be, or at least their general location. We decided to follow our feelings and found ourselves in a dark, undead-haunted castle. Pretty spooky. We also freshly leveled up to 5th level, which gave us a bunch of different goodies, which we're happy about. Let me check everybody's crafting projects. Yeah, I don't think we have enough materials for, well, anything. We're still early into game before we start, like, really stocking up on stuff. Okay, are there any, spells we want to use, or any party buffs, more importantly? Aid. We'll do that on our least HP-worthy party members. Alright, everyone's ready. Pretty sure we already investigated those nearby books and stuff. Yes, we did. Let's continue exploring. I think there may be yet another battle here. Yep, there is. I actually noticed someone. A Dark Apprentice. Well, perfect time to get off a surprise shot. Let's see if we can do it. I like how someone who actually does the attack, they don't roll initiative, they automatically go first. I don't think that's a whatchamacallit, a rule in the tabletop 5th edition. Is there anywhere we can dash? No, not really. Well, looks like we already engaged it. There's a bunch of zombies over there. There's a chandelier we can shoot onto them. Yeah, let's just dash back here. I realize it's a bit of a waste of an action, but we were able to at least shoot him and take off most of his health. Okay, the zombies are melee only and are pretty far away, so we don't really have to worry about them. We will Eldritch Blast this guy and hopefully take him out. Wait, we can select... Oh, yeah! Eldritch Blast is sort of like multi-attack or extra attack. It can fire multiple shots now that we're 5th level, and I think at 11th level is the next upgrade where we can shoot 3 at once. Pretty cool if I do say so myself. Now, where's the other Dark Apprentice? I think he may be somewhere up there, but as we can't really go up there, let's just move. So we'll have our Barbarian attract the zombies' attention. So let's have him ready a melee attack. Not that it'll matter much, because all the enemies are surprised, so they won't be going anyway. Let's have our Elven Archer Cleric shoot a Dark Apprentice. Aw. A ridiculous miss. let's have our rogue go up. I think getting any closer will risk coming out of dark vision range. Yes, if I shoot that. You know what? Rule of cool. Let's try it out. 9 hit points of damage. That's definitely on the upper end of how much our short bow can do. Okay. Fortunately, I think we can only see one zombie with our halfling. Yeah, only one. Alright. You know what? Since the Dark Apprentice, I most imagine they are going to have a lot of magic and stuff. I'm just going to have our Barbarian come up and occupy him. Our Barbarian isn't in stealth anymore, but not really matters. Barbarians aren't really meant to be stealthy. As predicted, they are now getting the attention of the zombies, which is good. Right, if we just sneak up to here, that should be enough. And it is. I'd rather not waste a Radiant Bolt. Even if these zombies are pretty sturdy, they don't really move around that much, and we can very easily get... Okay. No longer in stealth. Ouch. And as predicted, he's gonna try and run away, so bam. So far, this game is going very well. Since I'm in stealth, I should get sneak attack if I have close enough to him to get advantage. The attack roll? Yep. Hopefully this is enough to take him down, and it is. Everything is going according to plan, I'm happy to say. If these zombies go around, let's dash back and hide from them. Not that'll matter much, but sweet, sweet sneak attack. Okay. I should have went farther. Okay. I don't... Is there anywhere I can go where I can see that other zombie? No, in which case, let's take advantage of our advantage. Right, we're doing very good so far. We have just 2 zombies left. No real threat at all. And we are within melee range of one of them. Our Barbarian should definitely take them out. Lickety split. Nice. And being a martial class, we can attack twice. Our battle cleric cannot, but that's alright. Kind of weird how... Oh, we actually do have line of sight over the dead bodies. I'm just gonna harry this zombie from afar. Yeah, no need to spend a prestige use. Yeah, of all of our characters, I think only the dwarf got hurt. Yep.
Who are you? What do you want?
We just heard this right now. Alright, what do we want to do? To destroy her, beg her life, to make a deal, or meet our master? The first time I did this game, I think we succeeded on the deception check.
Look, whatever you do in the privacy of your own castle is your own business. As long as you don't do it to us, of course. But the thing is, We've come a very long way, and it's vitally important that we speak to Master Mardracht.
Really?
Oh, yes. It's a matter of life and... well, you know what I mean.
What's it about?
I'm sorry. Really. But our orders are to speak only to him. They come from the very highest level.
Well, in that case, go straight upstairs and ask for Aksha. If anyone can persuade the Master, she can.
With that horrible deception, I'm pretty sure the whole ask for Aksha is probably code for we're intruders, we're dangerous. Does anybody here use a crossbow? I mean, oh yeah, our dwarf does. There you go. And some of the Dark Apprentices are alive again. Or maybe they're just new replacements. That'd be pretty funny. Right? I feel we could take that necromancer if we wanted to, but I don't really know her capabilities or how strong she really is, so that could be a gamble. Okay, looks like Sable is encumbered. In fact, almost anyone in this party would end up encumbered as a result. We're carrying... oh, actually, no, I don't see the encumbered condition or light load on her, even though it says light. No, get that book. Yes. It's just the same book being repeated throughout the complex. That's kind of funny. Wait, where are characters going? Oh, they're just zipping around. Wow, really taking the long way around. Never mind, it's just... no, it's just continuous. Like... ooh, see that ghoul lurking about? It's a good thing we have some very perceptive eyes. Can we get him from here? No, we have something obstructing our field of vision, and we have some, looks like some breakaway wooden walls. Okay. How do we want to do this? Let's try and go into corner over here. Okay. Thank goodness we can pause our game, rather than doing all this in real time. Once again, we caught the enemies by surprise. A Badlands Ghast. Its base ghasts are a stronger version of a ghoul in Dungeons & Dragons. Functionally, they have the same capabilities, but they have more hit points, stronger bite and claw attacks, and so on and so forth. A Badlands Ghast is a setting-specific thing for Solasta, referring to the Badlands, of course. I forget exactly what they can do, but... this is just a normal ghoul. So... let's go behind here. I definitely know the ghoul will try going south to our party, which point it will break concealments. but it has a very low number of hit points, and I'll be very disappointed if our party somehow doesn't kill it during the surprise round. And there we go. So let's have our dwarf advance up, have him be our meat shield against the other two ghouls we can see. It says there's a third one, but I don't see where they are. Unfortunately, we cannot ready an action once we attacked once with multi-attack. I forget if that's something you can do in typical tabletop. Let's see if our battle cleric can get close enough. Okay, she has not broken stealth. That's good. Also, we have cover behind this ledge, so... Alright. We don't have any more things, but, since I'm pretty sure the ghoul will either come for us, or the enemies will come for us or the dwarf, let's have her get up her shield. Okay? No matter where I move, I will not have line of sight, so... May as well do dash. Okay. We can hit that one again. Ah, yes. Sable is encumbered. Speed reduced by 2. I'm tempted to drop some stuff. Let the scavengers pick them up. On the other hand, since we can dash as a bonus action, we aren't exactly, Wait, what is she line of sighting to now? Oh, I guess it just died, so it's not there. Okay. The enemies are surprised. That is very good. Halfling is not encumbered. They will definitely be coming through here, and I'm pretty sure by then we'll have line of sight, so... Let's ready Eldritch Blasts. When you're ready in action, you only attack once, rather than attacking or casting twice if you ordinarily can. Again, I forget if that's how it works in typical 5th edition, where if you're readying an action, are you readying everything you can do in a round, or readying just one specific attack? Solasta overall has been very, very faithful to the tabletop rules set, which I definitely like. Alright. They're still up, but we did quite a number on the Ghast. I feel confident enough in not using a Barbarian Rage, since she's no longer in stealth. No. If I recall, this is a pretty long dungeon, so it is worth it to try and conserve our spells, particularly not for our Warlock. Okay, as they start coming... Alright, that triggers her readied action. And it triggers her readied action, and hers. Alright. Took out one of the ghouls, and then one of them spent all its movement just trying to attack, or just trying to get up here. Thank goodness for surprise rounds. No casualties, no resources used. All in all, a pretty good success. Oh, there's footsteps going up here. Pardon me. First off, let's light the place up. There we go. Okay. These footsteps, since we can spot the tracks, say they're going somewhere. But where exactly? Can we attack these boarded up things? Yes, we can. Ah! Interesting environmental obstacle. They let light in, which I think some of these enemies will be weak to. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, Okay, but that's... Oh, wait. Looks like we can climb up and go through here. Little neat secret passage. Oh god. Please do not turn around. Okay, this is pretty hair-raising. I'm going to save my game just in case. Okay. If we shoot now. Okay, do we have any special kinds of ammunition? No, as undead, these creatures are pretty much going to be immune to poison. I know that from many, many years of playing D&D. It's actually one of the things you learn early on. Battle Axe of Acuteness would be much better served on our barbarian, even though he's mostly a two-hander. We could put it on her, but it's not a finessable weapon, so she'll suffer for that. Okay. Right, getting another surprise round off. So far we've done 3 surprise rounds in this session, or streaming session. Okay. Even though we don't know this creature's hit points. Can we shadow dodge anywhere? Oh, it recharges on a short rest. Okay, that's good. Let's go up here. Give us some more elevation. Okay, if we sneak down here, we will have sight to the Wraith and the Ghast. If I recall, Badlands Wraiths are weak to Radiance. Let's... Okay, let's have Snork move up. We already have pretty badly damaged Wraith, so let's focus on destroying that for now. Oh no. It's resistant. Okay, our greatsword isn't even magical. Let's see if doing a magic weapon will make a difference. No, we cannot switch our weapon out. This round at least. Okay. Okay, so from here we can shoot the ghoul. Or the ghast in this case. Nice! I love that repelling blast. I look forward to pushing people off ledges. Okay, I spent my round. Okay, we're now back to the top, so who do I want to shoot? Let's do that. Already in melee. Okay, they're nearly dead. Okay, so that was also a piercing, well... Now, the interesting thing is, it did not take resistance, and that's because our bow is magical. So we know from this that this thing has resistance against non-magical damage. Even though theoretically any combination of damage resistance or immunities are possible, like, oh, you're resistant to non-magical piercing, but not non-magical bludgeoning, that's not really how monsters are statted up. The resistance to the 3 physical damage types are by far the most common, and the reasoning for that is it's meant to make magical weapons in general more useful, because enemies who are resistant to non-magical no longer take half from it. I was wondering of going up here so I can at least block the ghast's path. Actually, I can do that now, so I'll try that. If they want to get at our barbarian, they will have to take the long way around. And if either of them want to get to our squishy halflings, they would have to double move. Alright? As tempting as it would be to just run up and attack that one, let's go here and ready in action. Wait, let me check one thing. Okay, it's a versatile weapon. 1d10 plus 1 over 2d6 plus 2. 2d6 plus 1. we're no longer in stealth, so it doesn't really matter where we move, as long as we have our more tanky party members guarding the way. Alright, and they're dead. We missed. Once again, this looks like it's going to be another zero casualties battle/encounter. Okay, let's move down here. Nice, one shot. Right, now let's have everyone move down here. Okay, lever, short sword, nothing special. Again, another lever, more short swords. 1, 2, 3. I suppose theoretically we could have done it in combat, but I don't think ghouls are the type of enemies that take sunlight or natural light damage. You might notice there's actually something up here. However, we don't have a path to our destination. In fact, only our dwarf can move. So, let's just open and see. Okay, really good. Dang it. Only our dwarf can climb up here. Is it worth it? You know what? Since we recharged on a short rest... I forgot who has feast. Oh, of course it's going to be our rogue. However, if you fail at a lock-picking check, you have to, I think, wait a level, so forgive my safe scum. Now she can fly up and pick the lock on the chest. Cross your fingers. However, she has a really good modifier, so she gets it. Alright. We got some ingredients. Studded lever. Javelin. Okay. We already have studded levers, so, and the javelin will only be useful for our barbarian. Okay, let's reassign things. AC set to 10, but if he's unarmored, he adds his dex and con together for a good 16 AC, so stud lever won't do much on that. Lever armor +1. If I recall, warlocks are the ones who can wear armor. Okay. +15. She is over encumbered, but on the other hand, we don't really care as much because Eldritch Blast is really long range. Okay, we have a Ponce down there. Unknown content. Oh yes, we were thinking of doing that, but we did the encounter first. Leave no stone unturned. I've hardly any ammo with her. Let's put everyone back on cautious mode. This place is unlit. Okay. Let's just have Sable fly over. That pit we can go down into, but I don't know how many of us can actually cross it. Okay, looks like everyone can go there. I'm using the cantrips because they're basically infinite ammo. It says it's 9:40 a.m., so of course there'd be light outside. I wonder if the game actually changes it if you're actually going in here at night. That'd be a pretty cool feature if they did, paying attention to time and all. I do know that outside lighting does matter. Okay. Okay, here's Aksha. I saw her because it says who she is.
Well, Litharia's taste in minions seems to be improving.
We're no one's minions, lady.
You defeated her then? I'm almost impressed.
Aw, dang.
We need to speak to your master. You can get out of our way or try to stop us.
Intimidating a vampire is pretty tough. Oh! Since we're in stealth mode. Well, it looks like we didn't get a surprise run, but we did at least guarantee a first shot on her. This battle is super difficult. I'm pretty sure the game auto-saved, but... Okay. Does it really matter where we run? So in addition to Axa, who's a vampire and has legendary actions, there's also a Brood of Dread and a Brood of Blood, which are sort of like very strong physically inclined undead enemies. We can at least melee her. If I recall, vampires are resistant to non-magical damage, so we're gonna be using our battle axe against her. Oh, and we got off a critical against her and did quite a bit of damage. Okay. However, even if we do defeat her, there's the broods we have to take care of. So things aren't all necessarily going to be easy for us. And she did a lot of damage even with our con save. Okay. How do we want to do this? Well... No, wait. This is what I want to do. Right now, being flying won't really do much for us, because that's on the Sable. Okay, thank you for actually casting it. Oh god, don't tell me you actually... Wait, what's she doing? Why is Annie all the way over there? That's weird. The doors look closed, but... Is this game glitched or something? It's just weird. Okay, now she went back over there. That's pretty weird. Okay, she's at a little over half health. Once again, I think this is the first enemy we've ever seen who actually does a legendary action. Legendary actions are another thing in 5th edition. It's a new thing specific to that edition, useful for very strong and boss monsters as can be expected. It basically lets an enemy do an additional action above and beyond what they normally do. Do we want to do summon a spiritual weapon, or do we want to do this? You know what? I'm thinking we're going to do daylight. Because a vampire, if they start their turn with a natural daylight, they will take 20 points of radiant damage regardless. There's no saving throw allowed. However, I said start their turn, so within the rules of D&D, a vampire can actually start their turn outside of daylight, do a move action, and as long as they don't, like... Okay, it's too far away. Oh! Hehehe. That did not work out for me. Okay, Snork is still hanging in there, I'm happy to say. Should I or should I not? Well, I only have one attack, so I'm only able to get one window anyway. So let's try shooting her. Okay, we hit her. That's a good amount of damage. Okay, she's using her third and final legendary action. Okay, I am trained. She regains quite a bit of her HP after that. Okay. Drained. Its maximum HP are reduced until a long rest. Okay, so that's funny how our deception check failed, but that necromancer let us past anyway. I don't know if that was intentional. Okay, she took damage from the time thing. Let's see if she takes damage from the natural daylight. She did not, for some unfathomable reason. I do not like that. Maybe it has to be like actual, natural, non-magical daylight and not the daylight spell. Okay, we did a lot of damage on her. Advantage on saving throws or spells, resistance burst piercing, or... Let's save it. Because a lot of these damage types, especially the vampire, are necrotic damage, which is non-physical. So that won't be useful in case she does try to go for our, you know, our warlock, which seems unlikely at the moment. Okay, what do I want to do with our... Okay, I'm gonna do this. Spirit Guardians. This is the perfect time to use Spirit Guardians. Okay. Let's try and get closer. At least get the Brood of Dread in our line of sight. Our poor barbarian, taking so much damage. Okay, damage-wise, she doesn't really seem to be going down because she just keeps draining our character. We need to... These things seem to only do melee, so you know what? Let's try and move everyone close within the Spirit Guardians and do automatic damage that way. And she does not seem to be moving. Do I want to hit her again or disengage? I want to hit her again. Because I do feel like we're making progress, particularly when we did just that. Okay. Okay, this is very good. This is going a lot better than when I was first fighting her, when my party was much less optimized. Oh god, she went from 2 to 21 HP. Okay, we did get a critical hit on her, at least. Okay, he's now frightened. That means he's going to start running away. Oh god, our barbarian just dropped. That's bad news. On the positive side, anybody who wants to try attacking us... Oh god, I need to move her closer into it. Okay. I definitely want to take out this vampire. Chances are she probably knows the shield spell. Good. She is dead. Okay, so what do I want to do? We'll disengage, move into the center, force the broods to... Is there a useful spell I could use? No. Okay. Good. I'm going to try using Healing Word on Snork. Okay, they now have Malediction. Really wish they could have kept up the crits at least. They made their saves. On the other hand, they missed their attacks. If they, anytime now you can attack, please. Very much like a real tabletop session. That way, okay. Snork. Sounds something like a silly character from a sci-fi show, almost. Okay, how do you want to do this? Okay, that I definitely like to see. Actually, I sort of regret doing that because I think we're now just out of the globe of rage. Or the Spirit Guardian's globe, whatever you want to call it. Let's at least, yeah. I think that was worth it. Let's at least try and see if we can push her back with Repelling Blast. Not that it'll matter. That is just so satisfying to do, honestly. Even if it's not always making a difference in terms of tactics. Okay, let's definitely have that. What do I want to do? Let's just get in some guaranteed damage. Okay, now she has to cross through the Spirit Guardians in order to attack any of us. May not be the best idea, but I think I'm just going to... Ready. Yeah, when I first played, I had a fighter, a life cleric, a sorcerer, and just a fourth party member. I'm trying to remember. Oh, and a ranger. Our ranger and sorcerer were big damage shields, but as their things, the sorcerer's abilities recharge more on a long rest, it isn't necessarily the kind of thing that you would always rely on. Versus our warlock, for example. Okay, we're all missing horribly. And our barbarian somehow has hardly any HP left. You know what? 2 attacks versus 1 ready to attack. It feels worth it. Okay, finally they're dead. We are definitely going to be saving our game after this encounter. And we got a ton of experience. Still pretty far away from leveling up, but slightly under halfway, which, given we just literally leveled up before at the end of our prior stream, we made an awful lot of progress. Okay, let's see what our vampire friend has for treasure. I know that if you do fight the vampire rather than negotiating, you can get a lot of treasure. If you try taking anything in the room when she's ordinarily been placated or peaceful, she doesn't like that because she recognizes that as stealing. Okay. We get some pretty good recipes here. A Doomblade Rapier. And a Doomblade Greatsword. Are these things any of us can craft? Okay, let's see. Doomblade Greatsword. It does 1d6 necrotic damage. Same for a Doomblade Rapier. Accuracy is just +1 to hit and damage. Whiteburn, you do 1d6 acid damage. Okay, there's even more treasure all the way up here. Okay, Aksha's Journal. I decided for the 4 factions I'm going to try and prioritize the Antiquarians as they have a bunch of generally useful magic stuff. The Circle of Danatar, if I recall, has mostly spell scroll recipes and some heavier arms and armor. The Arcaneum does magical recipes in general. The Tower of Knowledge, I think, is also sort of generic, but overall the antiquarians take the cake. Okay. Splendid half-plate armor. Oh boy. It does encumber us, but I imagine it sells for a great deal, so... Ooh, a primed dagger. I don't think we have any dagger-centric recipes. Now, do we want to go in here? Or do we want to, continue up there? If I recall, going past the vampire is when we start advancing further into the dungeon, so I wanna hold off on that at least. At least want to explore a bit more. Yay, natural daylight. Even more natural daylight. Okay. We got to be very, very quiet. Because I'm certain with all these chandeliers and stuff, there's going to be an enemy soon. That's what my genre savviness tells me. Okay, so... Oh no. Why won't it let me... See, there's a thing. As soon as you're moving, the game doesn't register until you finish moving. So even if you see an enemy mid-stream, it won't let you focus on that enemy, which sucks. Okay, ranged attack with enemy nearby. Yeah.
Arcana Evo.
Dang. Even the enemies in this game can hide. Okay, we're paralyzed. Or at least one of our characters is. But fortunately, we have spirit guardians, so... And they're all melee. Oh, and we one-shotted that ghast. See? Spirit Guardian's such a great spell. Even... It just does automatic damage over time. Okay, so there's a ghoul over there. A ghast over here, and a ghoul over here. This one is already previously damaged, so let's try and get that one. This one, being targeted by spirits, speed is halved. Can sustain damage. Okay, we definitely want to switch to her sword and shield style. Once again, we're going to pass that. We should have just enough movement to go on to the other one if we kill that one. And we definitely do. Okay. Any day now, ghoul, any day. You already made the roll, so please commit to it. I don't like my barbarian having such few hit points. I'm tempted to go back down and do a long rest. In fact, I think I may. I mean... Yeah, I definitely will. We are taking some pretty heavy casualties, particularly after that vampire battle. Now, Now they're definitely trying to get out of the orb. Everyone is opportunity attacking. Okay, what do we want to do with her? Sneak attack on that one. Good. Right, our party is no longer paralyzed, so... Okay. Short sword dagger, short sword. Now it seems like they were guarding these bookcases, which have... Ooh. Lever Armor of Survival, I think, increases your AC and your saving throws while wearing it. It is very useful, obviously. Okay, let's see. Read. We can now craft more poisons. An awful lot more. Ghoul's Caress, if I recall, applies to poison condition, which is different than poison damage in that it imposes disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks. It is very, very useful condition. Unfortunately, an awful lot of creatures in D&D are immune to the poison condition, undead being one of them, so it's not always a totally useful damage type. Same thing with fire, which is also useful. Okay, Scroll of Flaming Spear, I definitely know who I'm giving that to. Looks like if we go back here, there's just, you know, the monsters we killed earlier. Yeah, I like this dungeon. Like a lot of these dungeons in Solasta, they have a very... whatchamacallit. They have a very non-linear route. Like, it's not just one place you can go through the legitimate way. There's a variety of routes you can take. Okay. Yeah, we're going back to the long rest safe area. Yes, we did a long rest, but our dwarf is utterly drained. Alright, we now have a new magic weapon. Are there any items we have to attune? No. We will prepare some spells. Let's see. Bless, Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt. 5, 6, 7. Okay. Actually, are there any... All of these are very good spells. Instantly heals up to 6 allies, heal multiple allies at the same time. This just has a longer range and I think has a... Prayer of Healing takes 10 minutes to cast. I see, I see. Okay. Okay, who has the short sword of acuteness? Because we want to give that to our rogue. That way she has both a magical melee and ranged attack. Our dwarf. Alright. This seems like a good loadout for now. I already know what that potion is. It's Potion of Greater Healing. She can't cast Fog Clouds, so she can cast Identify. I don't think we can scribe it. Let's cast it on that good half-plate armor we got. Wherever it is. Okay, half-plate +1. We have an AC of 19. Let's see if it actually makes it any better. Okay, 20, but she has a stealth disadvantage. Yeah, I'm gonna go that route. Yeah, having a 20 dex cleric really makes you equip yourself very differently. Not a fan. Okay, there's a chest over there with unknown contents. We've got to try and pick the lock on it. So once we get over there, you know what we're gonna do. Cleric cast Guidance and on our rogue, and our rogue will try to get it. I think since we have double proficiency with Thieves' Tools, we should have a... Yeah, we have a +11 modifier. That's amazing, especially at our level. Bards and rogues can be useful for so many different things just from that double proficiency alone. You can make all sorts of builds with them. A lot of people who like to grapple and like dominate enemies often play as bards who also have like things like bardic inspiration, so they can just, you know, instead of being like the mighty feud barbarian, they'll just grapple and pin enemies that way. And grappling in this case with double proficiency to athletics is really strong option in D&D, because even though there are a lot of strong beefy monsters, the athletics skill also determines grappling, and most monsters aren't actually proficient in skills, even athletics.
That looks like a minor gate.
Where do you suppose it goes?
To the master's floor, hopefully.
Or into the heart of a volcano, or somewhere equally unpleasant.
So, are we going?
Why don't you go first? If it's somewhere nice, you can come back and tell us.
Smart, actually. Oh, no path to destination. Fortunately, we can cast... Wait. No, wait, it's our warlock. It's our warlock can cast fly.
Arcana Buto Elise.
Wait, why can't she go? Oh, it's the place I already went to. Oh, I feel dumb. Hopefully the fly spell will still persist when we jump gates. It should.
Ooh, teleporting feels weird.
I wonder what this Mardrak is like.
If he fought at the rift, imagine what stories he can tell.
Dropping in, unannounced, on a paranoid recluse with untold magical powers. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh boy. I think I remember what this one is. It is a bit of an annoying puzzle dungeon, so let me look that up first. If you might notice, there seem to be arrows in the floor.
I
Pointing
think
to
this slab
various
has
things.
triggered something.
We do see a trap
I
ahead.
think this slab has triggered something.
Yeah, when you stand on a thing, it causes certain doors to open, meaning our party will be split up at times. So we have to individually move characters. And as we can push that out, if we go in here, let's see if we can open or close this door from the other side. Ta-da! Oh. Let's get our rogue to disable these traps. Okay, Scroll of Raised Dead. That is definitely going to her. An Adventurer's Journal. Let's read what it has to say. We wanted to meet, we would have to find the stairs. Once you find the stairs, after she told us to go up. Okay. Down, up, right, up, down. Let me write this down somewhere. I should have a pen. My one of my pens is running out of ink. Fortunately, I had just enough to do that. And again, we can disable another trap. In earlier editions of D&D, traps were treated like monsters, not like a typical battle, but you got experience points for overcoming them. And what that meant was whether you actually disabled it or whether you got affected by the trap, you would basically consider to overcome and get experience points. That was the case in 3rd edition. I forget if that was the case in other editions, but in 5th edition you don't really get experience points for traps. Okay. Looks like as we're flying, we have to now it works. So where do you want to go? There's a left passage and a stair passage. Well, we had the stair things first. And then there was south, but that says left. So I don't think we want to go there first. Do we? No path to destination. Is there a path here? Oh, it says left over here. No, wait. This says up. We want one that's pointing down. Well, since our warlock powers recharge on sword rest, once again we can cast fly. So, just fly up there. And you can go down here and disable that. You can fly up here and... press this button. Why aren't you pressing that button? Okay, it's just very context sensitive for some weird reason. Okay. Just out of curiosity, I forget what happens if we touch this. Okay. That's good. Now everybody can access this long rest area. Is there anything up here of note? Don't think I see it, but... Okay, can she, Feel a bit bad making the rogue scout ahead like this, but, you know. I really haven't seen a down symbol yet. See, there's... Wait, maybe it's based on the compass direction. But I don't really know what is exactly north in these cases. Actually have to push it. Yes, yes. That's dumb of me. And it also triggers a teleportation. No, 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 wait, wait. Before we do the door, once again. Now you can. Oh shit. Fortunately, it looks like there's just one of it, and it rolled terribly on initiative, so... Okay, now I feel a lot more confident with this puzzle. Disengage. They may not be vulnerable to radiance, but making it easier for our party members to hit them is a good thing. Spell slots and she's no longer flying. We can always short rest and recharge it. Oh boy. How do I want to do this? Sneak attack, it should technically be in melee. Yep. You're doing a good amount of damage. Alright. Dang it. Good, it missed at least. I did not want to see that. What are you doing? I didn't mean to click there. Okay, I hate these misclicks. Because there's no, are you sure you want to do that, or do-overs or stuff like that. An oddly difficult battle. Okay, thank goodness. Okay. Okay, finally we can get this. Hope it's worth it. Okay, decent, not bad. Okay, more adventurers' notes. Time to read. And we finally found the stairs. Yeah, using potions before using real healing spells is always a good idea. They're consumables, whereas you can just free up the spell slots to do our stuff. And looks like no one... Oh, wait. Oh, actually we were meant to hit it.
Whoa, that looks weird.
It's similar to some magical wards I've seen, but
Don't touch it. Don't go near it. Don't even look at it.
it hasn't done anything yet.
It doesn't work? I wonder.
Don't. Just don't.
Perhaps he made a spelling mistake.
Sable.
Oh, I hate you.
Sable's suddenly agreeing with Snork for some reason.
It lost its mana, that's all.
Okay. Okay, so stairs, it is either down or up. So yeah. But before doing down, let's why wasn't she crawling through? That was weird. Okay, we have a magnificent shield. So we are going to identify this magnificent shield, and since barbarians are proficient with shields, okay, that'll be a net +3 bonus to AC. He won't have the versatile, but on the other hand, it will help his AC. He is now a mighty 19. Alright, everybody, time to go down. Someone here has a torch. Eh. And now we are in a new, well, pretty sure we've been here before. We now need to go up.
Some kind of mechanism.
They had to rearrange themselves. Okay. Okay, now we go right. Okay, there's no enemies here. No need to sneak. It's usually a good idea to stay in cautious mode unless you're absolutely certain there are no enemies in your area. Now the next one is up, then down. We are teleported back, so... Yep, if you can see over here, up, then down. Okay. Tempted to do an overlong rest, but our party isn't really hurting. At most, we can do a short rest and spend some hit die to heal. Alright, now the last one is down. We went a bit of a roundabout, but we did good, I'd say.
I think this has triggered something.
And we are going
I think this slab has triggered something.
Nope. You have to... Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. I thought it was blocking, but it's not. Okay. Let's head into the center, everybody. Now you may notice a bunch of skeletons are starting to walk. Thanks to our keen perceptive eyes, we are going to get ranged weapons out. We are going to go into cautious mode. Okay, no free hands. Let's wait for them to approach. Now. Aw, yes! Well, it hit. It hit several of them, at least. Or two. Right, so... looks like we have just 2 to deal with, rather than like the 4 or 5 we were about to. And we have 1 more chandelier in case either of them move under it. Oh, actually there's 3. Somehow didn't count that. I definitely know they're going to be resistant to piercing, so part of me says just... get your ass out and move. Okay, surprise round still up. Let's summon a flaming spear. Get all 3 of them at once. Ah, I could have used a scroll. Okay. Ah, I thought it damages them as it moves through. That's how I thought it works. Yeah, I think it actually did just now. Okay. We got 3 out of 5 skeletons on the surprise round. That's good. Okay. We're gonna take care of the already damaged one. Right, it should be, Znork's turn next. For some reason it had trouble registering that. I should have used reckless attack. Oh well. Now if I know anything about these archers, they're... Okay, move the spirit to 6 cells or slam it into an opponent. We are definitely going to slam it. Alright, that's good. Let's see if this is enough to kill the skeletal archer. Yep, it is. Again, not a very hard battle. That's because we've been doing ambushes all the time. lot of goodies for us. Easy enough. Looks like there's a platforming sequence where you go up there and push something out of the way. Okay, Scroll of Dark Vision. I'm trying to remember who can cast it. Wait. I can't scribe scrolls into his spell book. It's not compatible with this character's spell list. That's why. Well, first, before we do anything else, let's just investigate this place. All right, let's go up here. If I recall, there's another monster here. Not enough confidence in climbing, they just jump. Oh boy. And he's going to groan a lot. I think when I was doing Lost Valley, I made sure everyone had at least good strength for athletics, because I kind of got tired of hearing that. Yep, see that? That's a white. A white is a special kind of undead. Well, not really special, because most undead in this game are like, you know, whatchamacallit, have their own unique feature or reason for existence. Okay, it doesn't seem to notice me yet. Whites, not only do they have an energy draining attack in D&D lore, any creature that is like a mortal humanoid they kill also becomes a white. So even though they're not as powerful as, say, vampires, they're another type of self-propagating undead species, which can make them dangerous. They are also intelligent, so like you see, they can like wear armor, wield weapons like swords. They're not just like ghouls, which are more animalistic and like fight with claws. I should have done something to take advantage of stealth. Oh well. Aw, dang. We should have taken the long way around. Alright, it's almost dead. And it's still a surprise round. At this point, I don't really care about stealth. I'm still confident enough. Alright, burn-in crossbow bolts. I like that. And now it looks like we're going to do the piece de resistance. A critical hit. So far, this dungeon crawl is going swimmingly. Okay, we got a longbow, a long sword, lever, silver comb. Oh.
I heard some kind of mechanism.
Oh. Should I have been pressing those? this down. Okay, that gives us a new area of access. Well, it's pointing over there, so I presume it would. Let's see what it activates.
I heard some kind of mechanism.
Okay, looks like this is a... Okay. Okay, I definitely remember this area. Everybody, go uncautious. Yep, this is another one of those areas, because there is going to be a little monstrous surprise waiting for us. It says open, close this door. It's not a one to lockpick. Let's see if we can open it normally from this side. Okay, no visible lock. There's an object to examine. I'm pretty sure it's a painting. Very odd painting. How long have we been streaming? An hour 30 minutes. Yep, see that skeletal sorcerer? We're not going to attack it just yet. We are going to cast the aid spell on all of our party members save the dwarf. We are going to cast aid on our dwarf, ourself, and our warlock. Alright, everyone. Now we can attack. See, there are 4 skeletons inside, or 4 undead. In fact, there's actually an awful lot. There's a white, skeleton archers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you saw, a white can take quite a beating. Even though we got one by surprise. Right? Okay. I'm strongly tempted to cast a fireball into this room, but I want to see exactly what we are fighting. Okay, okay, I see them all now. All right. Now our dwarf. Let's move. Let's at least just move in and shoot Skeletal Knight twice. Oh, we're somehow still in stealth mode. That's funny. Oh man, that was awful. And just for good measure, let's rage. At the very least, we can see the white, so that's who we're going to Eldritch Blast. Bam bam. Alright. That's what I like to see. Okay, the skeleton archer is way back there. Pretty sure the other white will also be there. Okay, white. Yeah. some reason, it won't allow us to go through, and apparently we don't have... Oh well, let's just radiant action. I hope I don't regret this choice. Let's save our stunning strike for the more powerful undead. Let's get right into the thick of things, shall we? Alright, another one bites the dust. I definitely know there's going to be some enemies coming in through that doorway, so part of me does not want to go too far into the room with my warlock. Yeah, it may just be my subjective bias, but with this party, along with me knowing stuff, I'd say these combats have been going a lot faster in terms of rounds than my original party for this campaign. Okay. Okay, 2 skeleton archers. Looks like we have some new contenders. Okay. We're going to be out of stealth if we do this. On the other hand, let's use that door as full cover. The white is in melee, so it should take sneak attack damage if it's hit, and it's dead. Okay, we have 1 unseen white to worry about. The skeleton archers are easy enough to deal with on our own. You know what, I'm just gonna end my turn. Okay, Dwight is there. We're going to engage him in sword and shield play. Even with bless. We just barely miss. To have missed. Oh, dang, I forgot reckless attack again. Okay. Okay, someone should deal with the skeleton archers, if only to, And it should be our own archer. Right. Strike. Alright. Good, he is stunned. We already have advantage on attack roll, so no need to be reckless. And he'll most likely be dead. Oh, he doesn't have the Curse of Time anymore. Okay, just mere archers now. Should be a trivial battle. And almost everyone is at full health except our dwarf and hobbit. It's a wisdom saving throw. Much more confident with my range shots. Nice. Let's try and get closer in case it runs away. And our Sylvan Elf, who has a very high running speed, manages to close the gap. Our dwarf should ideally get the last hit. And they are done. Knowledge increases ever further. Scroll of Bane. Definitely going to give that to her. Quarterstaff, nobody really needs that. I'm pretty sure it's the sorcerers. And it looks like there's a mysterious book here. Spirit and Flesh, Advanced Studies in Necromancy. I definitely do not like the sound of that. I forget if there's something important behind this door, but just in case, let's all take a short rest. Also, hello there to whoever is currently viewing. We are a good ways into this campaign. We may stream for another 30 minutes, but if there's enough interest, we may go even further.
How did you get in here?
Ah, this is
Master Madrai.
the boss of the area.
Know my name? How do you know my name?
We represent the Legacy Council, Master. And we mean you no harm.
No harm. No harm, they say. They always say that. Always. They lie. Get out! I can still defend myself, you know.
This is going to be another bypass a possible battle if you get a good social roll. I think last time I...
You are right to fear us, and those who sent us. We are powerful, but you don't have to die. The gods have commanded us to kill you.
I knew it.
But we don't need to do that. If you'll help us, we must have the Gem of Necromancy.
Gem,
But without your gem, we can't remake the crown. Without the crown, we can't defeat the gods.
I remember doing this too.
the gods? I don't... The crown? This is what you came for. Take it, and leave me alone.
If I recall, this would otherwise be a difficult battle. He is a necromancy mage with various undead minions.
So, that's it.
Yes.
The
I can
first
feel
of
its
several
power.
gems.
It's incredible.
Don't let it overwhelm you. Necromancy is dark magic.
That's right. We should probably sell it. How much do you think a smallish palace costs these days?
Stop it. You know we can't do that.
We must get it back to the council. Can't blame you for trying.
Alrighty. Looks like the necromancer is actually gone. And we got a bunch of relations improved with pretty much every faction of note. Once again, I am going to save because this is a locked chest and we need our rogue to be as buffed up as possible in order to get it. Okay. Bag of holding, very rare. Who do we want it on? Pretty sure we already have. Yeah. The dwarf already has a haversack, so we're just going to place the bag of holding on him. Now, the haversack's multiplier, 162, 180, 162. Okay, we're giving that to the elf. Alright, so there is stuff up here, it looks like. No visible lock. We can, there's a teleporter, but there's also a major gate. And it can send us back to Caer Kiflin. This is one of several major gates that allow us to basically bypass overland travel by teleporting. Powerful relics from a bygone age, and also a very useful quality of life metagame concept. And we still need Agni's bones. Maybe we'll locate them in the next game. Okay, so who's the antiquarians? Yep, he's up here.
Clear skies, my friends. You have some treasure in your backpacks?
See what you think of this.
See you next time, friends.
Alrighty. Let's see what wares we can buy now.
Clear skies, my friends.
We do require your services.
We have a 20% rebate, which is better than a lot of other gear. Right, first let's see what they have to sell. A warlock-specific thing adds an additional spell slot. Okay, that is good. 1,900. We should definitely save up for that, especially since we have a warlock in our party. We have various magic items. Advantage on dexterity self. Can jump at maximum distance, unaffected by encumbrance penalties and heavy armor. That may be useful for possibly our barbarian. Cast Sparkle at will, we already have that cantrip. Immune to the magic missile spell and resistant to force. We haven't really encountered many enemies using magic missile. This generates 20 quivers every hour, but since arrows are so plentiful in this game, we don't really need it. Parry up a fell from immune to disease. Ring of Dark Vision. May be useful for our island halfling. I think everyone in this party has Dark Vision. Slippers of Spider Climbing. Requires no attunement, can move along walls. You gain... Oh, that's only for a monk. Once again, more Bag of Holdings than Haversacks, but they are very expensive. Let's buy an Oil of Acuteness. Alright, so what do we want to sell? I want to sell quite a bit, actually. Plus 1/2 plate. Okay. I want to sell a normal backpack, but apparently it's insufficient. Oh well. Okay, we now have 1,000 gold. Is there anything we can craft? Yes, there is. A Frostburn dagger. A dagger doesn't do much damage, but it does 1d8. So 1d8 cold damage is nothing to sneeze at. Particularly if we find a way to double it. Okay, let's go up to the council again. Or wait. Let's head down to the market. Let's see if the scavengers will sell us off our spare stuff. Alright, quite a bit of stuff. Not much though, but every little bit counts. Loot this container, loot this container. Let's try and pick the lock on this chest now. That chest may be bugged, I fear. +1 to AC and saving throws. That could be a useful thing for our low AC character. Vampire Touch, unfortunately, is melee only, so it does require being a bit risky. Just making sure everyone can cast what they've been given. 1 second. Guess nobody can cast Dark Vision, it seems like. Oh, looks like there's new quest openings on the job board. Turn to Demonic Kalamuan, recommended level 6. A handy haversack. Can definitely be useful, but it seems to be a pretty tough.
Go get killed in the Badlands.
Hello there, Moondog548. I hope you don't mind a 10-minute timer on follower chat. It's to prevent spammers. I did get one spammer once, but fortunately it wasn't really much of a big deal. Let's go back to the Dark Castle. I don't know if it'll teleport us right inside the sub-dungeon or outside or whatever, but we still have Agni's bones to find, and one of them is actually in the castle courtyard, which, you know, is that, if you've seen my previous stream, very, very heavily guarded by undead. It's a me from RPG Nets. You're Fred, but never heard this game from Delingo. Yeah, it's a D&D game. It's actually based off of the 5th edition SRD, translate into a video game form. Of course, it has its own unique content to make up for the lack of material, because otherwise 5th edition OGL is very, very brief. Okay, using this Mire Gate, we'll teleport you outside the castle. Let's do just that. Yeah, Solasta, Crown of the Magister was a kickstarted game in 2018 or 2019. It sort of got a full release. It's no longer in early access around 2020. It made a complete DLC campaign to Lost Valley somewhere around 2022. But something that's really good is it is a very mod-friendly community, and several people have already converted some official adventures like Scourge of the Slave Lords, the Temple of Elemental Evil, and even the Lost Mines of Phandelver to it. Of course, there are some things that no amount of game coding can be translated into, so there are some limits. Just to show off my party, I have a Shadowcaster Rogue who's sort of like an arcane trickster, but they also do like illusion, they also do necromancy, and there's a Snow Dwarf Barbarian, Path of the Claw. Path of the Claw is one of the new subclasses in this game. You basically have dragon-like magic and stuff. Or dragon-like abilities. Cleric Battle, you're basically a war priest. You can cast spells with both a shield and a melee weapon, which makes them really good. Warlock is a Timekeeper patron. They worship an entity that is like beyond time and space. One other thing in this game that is not in typical 5th edition is crafting. And you have tool proficiencies of different kinds. Smith's Tools allows you to craft ammunition. Herbalism Kit allows you to craft magic potions. Scroll Kit allows you to craft magic scrolls. Poisoner's Kit, various poisons. And the Mount Callan Rosary allows you to craft magic weapons and armor. And yes, unlike in traditional 5th edition, you can buy and sell magic items on the open market, but it's very gold prohibitive, so it's always a good idea to try and get people proficient. Yeah, I would definitely compare it to Neverwinter Nights. Some people are inevitably comparing this game mostly to Baldur's Gate 3, which is an actual official game, but I don't really know if that's a good analogy or not. I haven't really played Baldur's Gate. There's also the fact Baldur's Gate 3 is still in early access. Oh, looks like these skeletal enforcers are not immediately hostile to us. Oh, wait, they are. Okay, this is one part I dislike about the game. When you are in stealth mode, you cannot commit to an action until your character has actually stepped into square. See, like that. The game kind of tricked me in that sense. Now, as we are actually in a battle, we're going to have to commit to it. And my Morlock has Repelling Blast, where they basically automatically shove people when they hit them. I love that ability so much. I am Pact of the Chain, but familiars in this game, there aren't really familiars or mounts or animal companions. You just turn them into special ability. If I had to guess, it's probably because trying to program additional NPCs and minions would be really resource draining on most computers. Because there are some temporary party members you can get, and since you have a party of 4, add familiars, add animal companions, add a paladin's mount. That could get a lot. That could get very, very hard to juggle for many machines.
Perfect.
I will say, one thing that I like is this game is more or less complete. There were originally 6 out of the 12 classes, but now there's all 12. They even have one race that isn't technically OGL, the Dragonborn. I don't exactly know how they got away with that, because, I think Dragonborns are Wizard of the Coast product identity, if I recall correctly. There are half-orcs. They do not have Warforged. There is a mod that does bring in some stuff from other games, like, for example, the Artificer class is available as a mod. And so are a lot of the non-SRD content from the core rules. I have not done the unfinished... It's called the Unfinished Business mod, which adds all of the stuff that Wizards of the Coast does not have as OGL. I have not gotten that one yet, because from what I hear, the mod is still a process, early access. So I don't want to necessarily mess around with too many mods unless they are, certain, because the Unfinished Business mod, I think I read somewhere, they may say if they update it, it may cause the game to be unstable with earlier versions, and I don't want to mess around, particularly when I'm many hours into, various campaigns. Yeah, they even have, dice that roll, which I like as a graphic. I think there's, alterations to make the dice 3D or, roll across or not, but I forget.
You're still standing.
They even handle reaction well, it just has a typical quick pop-up of reaction to say what you can and can't do. Okay, is there anywhere I can go that will allow me to see the skeleton shooting at us from above? Guess not. Pass. Battle Cleric has a channel divinity where you stun a creature if they fail a save. As it's once per long rest, I am going to be just saving that for a rainy day. I've already been through this dungeon, but I took one of the secret side passages in. The reason I'm doing this is there's a side quest for finding the bones of a dwarven ghost that I'm trying to complete now. Ugh. Okay, we can at least climb up there. Always a bonus when you can pick up some bones of a dwarven ghost along the way. Yeah, this game at least is actually good in having side quests and side content, which I like. And the Lost Valley really opens things up by making that campaign much more of a sandbox with various alternate factions and stuff. I'd say actually, right now I'm doing the default campaign to show things off. It also does a much better job of explaining aspects of the world and the tutorial, in case some people watching are not familiar. But once I complete this, I'm thinking I may try whatchamacallit, the Lost Valley, at least. I may try doing the 5e version of the Temple of Elemental Evil, but I don't exactly want to do that because it's very different. Well, not different in the sense that it's very faithful adaptation of the module. It's different in the sense that it plays differently than a lot of 5e adventures. For example, there's a lot of mobs of weak enemies, like in a lot of AD&D modules. And even with a computer doing a lot of the heavy lifting and work for you, it can kind of bog things down.
That's impressive.
So, there's a question on what mod campaigns I run, on how stream-worthy they are.
Oh!
Okay. If you see, I can move as a group, but as only 3 people can go there, that usually means one character does not have, like, a high enough score to necessarily travel a conventional way, so sometimes they just climb or just stay back if they can't. The athletics skill is very useful in this game because it can determine not only how far you jump, it can also determine if you end up becoming prone or incapacitated if you fail a jump check. When you fail jump checks, you don't actually fall because there are some literally bottomless pits that it would be not exactly great to program. So if you fail an athletics check, you can still make the jump, you just end up prone for a round and you lose all your actions. Oh dang, this is just what I get when I just start running into places. On the other hand, I'm sort of at the level now where a lot of these enemies are really more of a nuisance to me. I am level 5, by the way. I should be close to getting level 6 soon enough.
Wait till the next one.
See, I already killed that enemy in nearly one hit. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to show off after this game is the sub-races, because all of the PHB races are in this game.
Another victory. This is destiny.
But but since not all of the races are SA or RD compliant, they did make some new ones like the Snow Dwarf and the Marsh Halfling. Excuse me. In case you're wondering, the humans in this game are typical humans. They don't use the variant rules where they gain a bonus feat and bonus skill and proficiency.
You were doomed.
So humans in this game are kind of lackluster unless you are a mad-heavy class, which needs a lot of bonuses to various skills, like, say, the monk. Someone did make a mod for variant humans where they gain a free bonus feat at first level, but that mod has been taken off of Nexus mods, so I don't have access to it, sadly. I definitely would have got it while it was still up.
You suck.
Alright, so to explain, Snow Dwarfs are Dwarven ancestry. They give +1 dex, proficiency with the heavy crossbow, and if I recall, they have advantage on certain athletics-based skills, representing them coming from more northern tundras. Sylvan elves are basically like wood elves. Marsh halflings, I recall, they get dark vision, which the normal base race halflings do not get. So this actually makes halflings pretty much one of the only it actually makes it so that only humans and dragonborns do not have a dark vision option at all, as opposed to a variant one. Okay. Okay, the sack here has unknown content. Let's see if it has what we want. Yes. Normally, in the campaign, if you ended up fighting through the courtyard, you would have met, like, this white general known as Adam the 12th. And, like, sort of like the necromancer we spoke of earlier, we need to succeed on a social skill roll in order to avoid a combat. But he doesn't seem to be here, because I guess it's because we passed the rest of the dungeon. Oh, also another thing I like, many aspects of the environment can be used both in and out of battle. Pushing over structures can do damage, area of effect, and impose, like, certain conditions like prone. You can also shoot structures like stalactites and, whatchamacallit, and chandeliers to fall on enemies, which I did earlier against some skeletons. This game does a very good job at making structures in the environment things to use. Okay, I think... Okay, basket scimitar and basket shortbow. I think we've been pretty much everywhere. So, let's go back to the cemetery. And we'll meet Agni the Dwarf. Oh, we need to take him to the antiquarians in Caer Kiflin, so we can either trek across or use that warp gate. I think we're going to use the warp gate if we can. Before doing that, let's go through the castle via one entrance we haven't used, the front gate. If we do it this way, I think it triggers a scene. Yep, it does.
Another door.
Oh, good. Just when I was thinking it would be too easy.
Look at the top. What is that? Looks like a magical shield of some sort.
Some sort. How many sorts are there?
What we're looking for is up there.
You're sure?
It's obvious. The best loot gets the best protection.
There is one thing I wanted to mention that is sort of irrelevant to the game. Oh! Looks like since we did trigger the front, there's going to be a bunch of enemies coming out. So let's get ready for them once they climb over. Alright, we got a surprise round. If you are in cautious mode and you're able to affect or attack an enemy, you will get a free surprise round. And surprise rounds, much like in Tabletop 5th Edition, are really advantageous when you get them. Because it basically gives you a free round of combat. Alright, if we climb up here, we can see all of them. Ooh, with Repelling Blast, we should be able to knock them off. This should be fun. Yep, see? He is... I don't know if it was high enough to take falling damage because he landed on a pillar, but it knocked him back. That was pretty fun. You can also ready actions in this game, but you're only limited to melee attack, ranged attack, or a cantrip attack. It is not as broad as in typical 5th edition, where you can ready all sorts of stuff.
Try again.
Ghoul cannot move at all. Looks like two of them are on top of each other.
Run while you can.
And since ghouls are melee only, they're just gonna waste their turn just moving to us. that Timekeeper debuff, they receive force damage equal to half our proficiency bonus for 1 minute, which is a good amount of damage to do over time. Right. Do we just want to shoot them normally, or do we want to do something cooler? Honestly, part of me wants to do a fireball, but I sort of feel like we may need that for later. Well, stunned and nearly dead. I don't know why, but sometimes the game lags. I think it's only when you have like an awful ton of enemies on the screen. Fortunately, it's not very common. Oh, and enemies can also shove. And even grapple. You can also shove, but you cannot grapple, because I guess grappling rules are too complicated. But shoving is useful if you want to knock an enemy off a ledge, or you want to knock them prone. One thing I find interesting about the Solasta game is it's bringing in a lot of video game players who've never really touched a tabletop game before, and it's interesting seeing all their thoughts on like things like effective builds and character optimization that exist independent of broader tabletop culture. What I mean, for example, is, you know, there's always a lot of vociferous debates about martial caster disparity, melee range, things like COD Zilla, like whether or not primary clerics and druids are overpowered. Well, the common consensus of a lot of the more experienced game players is similar to that of D&D's character ops community. Most people find fighters to be very underwhelming, and they suggest playing a paladin or ranger instead for a melee or ranged fighter concept, for example. And in other cases, people really like clerics, because, particularly the battle cleric, because depending on their domain, they have so many different types of roles. Things like Spirit Guardians are very well beloved. Things which allow you to attack with your hands full are also very well regarded, because this game actually enforces handedness penalties. If you're wielding a sword and a shield, or wielding 2 weapons in each hand, much like in Skyrim, you can't cast spells, so you have to like juggle your weapons around, which you can do once per round. So if you want to play a sword and board paladin, unless you alter the options in the game where you can like ignore certain things or make the game easier, you are going to have a bad time. My limited understanding is that grappling fight doesn't consist of much more than being able to shove and restrict an opponent's movement. I think grappling is basically different than shove, in the sense that shove is like literally pushing someone around. Grappling, you actually prevent an enemy from moving at all. And it can also do things like enemies may take damage grappling if an enemy has like spines or thorns or is made of acid. So there's all that other kinds of stuff which I don't think has been programmed yet in Solasta. Although this game did a good job on a lot of other things about 5th edition, which I have to give them props to.
Go on!
I, for one, am happy to see something besides Baldur's Gate 3 allow for what is basically 5e content as a video game. This game even has multiplayer support, believe it or not, although I think it's limited in some senses, like one person acts as the DM and a host, like a server, and everyone multiplays and plays through either the existing campaign or a custom one. You may notice these up arrows indicate our character is ready to level up. So, in fact, I think we're going to do that. Since we'll be level 6, I think we're going to not use the teleporter, and for reasons I'll explain why, that side quest at that quest notice board has a quest which is in a dungeon we earlier went to. And along the way back to the big city is the Caroline Outpost, as well as a possible gem location. Now, this is overland travel, something that exists in whatchamacallit. That's something that was made new for the game, but technically exists in basic 5th edition. You have fatigue, which tracks how much your characters are able to go. You have food, which is represented as units, and you eat 1 unit per person per day, so basically 4 units per day. You know what? Let's try and ambush these enemies. I feel confident. There's a lot of them, but we also have a scroll of fireball. If you choose to travel fast, you have less long rest and get to your area faster, but on the other hand, you are much more likely to become surprised. Is there a reason we can't cast Fly? Oh, we haven't done a short rest and our Warlock spell slots haven't recovered. Whereas if you decide to be slower, you're much more likely to get the drop on enemies yourself. And whether or not you are ambushed or ambushed in turn on these overland encounters depends on both your party's overall stealth and perception modifiers. And given we have a rogue along with, whatchamacallit, we have a rogue along with a very highly perceptive cleric, our perception modifiers are very good along with stealth. Sadly, however, just because we're ambushed does not necessarily give us sneak attack. Sneak attack in 5th edition has some restrictions in how it's triggered. You need to have advantage and either a ranged or finesse weapon, or be in melee with an allied creature. Okay. So there's 2 spiders, 2 spiders, 2 spiders. So no matter if we end up doing an area of effect spell, it won't really matter. We're going to hit 2 at most.
You should have yielded.
Okay. That's great. We're going to move her to the east, and we are going to move our dwarf to the west, so in case the spiders start moving up, we will intercept them. Okay. Wait. Yes, I am. Yes, I am within melee range of this spider, so I can attack it.
Die!
Great. Sadly, though, our extra attack is kind of wasted. Man, if we didn't have surprise round, these spiders would be all over us. Let's hit the already wounded one. Alright, who do we want to try and hit next? Yeah, as a Shadowcaster Rogue, our spells are sort of limited. It's mostly things like using shield as a reaction or cantrips. Oh, and you can also cast the Identify spell. The Identify spell identifies magic items, whereas normally you'd have to pay, like, someone at a shop to do the same thing, which can add up over time. Want to use a Scroll of Fireball on these guys or a Scroll of Burning Hands? I think I'd rather use a Scroll of Burning Hands. Let's see if I can get 2 of these people at the same time. No, we cannot cast that. We can cast Flaming Spear, but honestly, I'd much rather cast... Okay, looks like I can't cast Spiritual Weapons, so... Boom. Nice. As the saying about Identify, the Identify spell is a spell normally reserved for wizards or people who somehow gain access to divination or ritual spells, which can be done as a Pact of the Tomb Warlock or as a Shadowcaster Rogue. And since my Shadowcaster Rogue's the only one in the party who can cast Identify... Oh god. They kind of serve as, they'll be the one to identify magic items. This game is good because there's all sorts of worthwhile playstyles. Having a character with Identify to identify magic items. Having a character to cast Good Berries so you never are at risk of running out of food units during overland travel. Having characters with certain tool proficiencies so you can craft items rather than, being forced to rely on just buying things at enhanced rates from, from merchants at shops. It's not like having things like Identify or Good Berry are nigh required, but they do make your game a lot easier. Righty. Looks like our spellcasters are in trouble. Okay. I do not want to be in range of the flaming spear if it does indeed smash into me. Because yes, friendly fire is definitely a thing in this game. So you do have to take into account the positioning when using your spells. Okay, we have 4 more spiders. One of them is very heavily injured.
Are you okay?
Ouch. Okay, I saw this spider somewhere. Okay. There's the funny thing. Enemies with climbing speeds, and if you yourself have something like spider climb, can hang onto the sides of ledges and structures, which makes you think in 3 dimensions. There's also a fly spell, but I don't know if they fully programmed it yet, because you can't fly anywhere. Like, you can't just fly straight up. You usually have to fly somewhere where there's something higher up, like here. Otherwise, the fly spell would be a lot more useful, I feel. Okay, we missed both of those, unfortunately. Okay. We want her to be out of the flaming spear range. Yeah, for clerics, bonus actions like Spiritual Weapon are sort of their extra attack in 5th edition. In this case, the Spiritual Weapon, they just melee attack and then the Spiritual Weapon. I don't know how much 5th edition you've played, but there are generally 3 major types of actions. A regular action, like attacking like multiple times. Then there's movement, which isn't really an action all its own, but you can move up to your normal speed each round. Then there are bonus actions, which are like more minor actions, like casting certain spells quickly. Then there are reactions, which aren't typically done, but only done like in reaction to like an enemy. Like the shield spell, or Hellish Rebuke, which I used for my Warlock a few times as a counterattack. Okay, those things are spider glands. They're useful as an ingredient in poison. The interesting thing about Solasta is this is only released to backers. Oh god, we may take damage just going through the flaming spear. Ouch. Okay, as I was saying, the interesting thing about Solasta is they actually released a typical tabletop gaming sourcebook to backers. However, it is not available to sale, and they claim the reason is due to legal reasons. Which means either they're using Wizards of the Coast product identity, which they're not supposed to be doing, or there's some sort of specific contract where they cannot sell the thing to non-backers. Okay, and now we are all leveling up. Let me just quickly show up how leveling up works in this game. It is quick. It says to your right your gains. You always take average HP as you level up, unless you change around the game settings. So, what do we want to have double proficiency as a rogue? Proficiency bonus is basically something that adds to your d20 rolls for things you have proficiency in. It is sort of like non-weapon proficiencies in earlier D&D games, where if you have double proficiency, you are super good at something. So, like, for example, if I do double proficiency in acrobatics, our proficiency bonus is +3, it will be +6. You start out the game with +2 and a proficiency bonus at first level, then you go +3 at 5th, +4 at 9th, all the way up to +6 at 17th. I'm almost tempted to do athletics with the halfling because, yeah, I've been playing for about a year now with a group of friends. Hope you're having fun. As I was saying, proficiency bonuses go up to +6 at 17th, and due to bounded accuracy, even +1 modifiers make a much bigger change. We don't want to unlearn any spells. Satisfied with the spells we have. Level 6 Barbarian. For our specific Path of the Claw, here's what they can do at higher levels. Draconic Wrath, they can breathe an AoE at weapons sort of like a Dragonborn. Then at level 7th, they gain advantage on initiative rolls, which is really good. Brutal Critical, you do 1 additional damage die and increase your rage damage die. And Dragon's Blessing, you do elemental damage. If I recall, I chose a Gold Dragon for fire, but I'll need to double check that. Her allies and adjacent cells gain +1 on attack damage, AC, and saving throws. That is pretty good. Scholar of Battle. I can attack 1 more time per turn. Part of being a battle cleric. And finally, our Warlock. Pack Magic, 1 spell to select. Time Shift. When you're about to take damage, you can use your action to project your body forward, negating any damage. It's only once per long rest, but that's pretty useful. Do I want to unlearn any invocations? Well, the ones I have right now are good. Agonizing Blast, Fiendish Vigor, and Repelling Blast are all very good things that I want to keep. So I'm going to ignore that. Also, for languages, not all languages or even skills are used in this campaign. For example, Halfling is a language you are never going to hear, so it's not used in the Crown of the Magister main campaign. There are some things like DLC. Old Temarian is a setting-specific language from Tirmar. Yes, humans are special in this game in that they originally came from another world. We do not want to unlearn any spells. The spells we have are good, so what spells do we want? We already have Fly, Hypnotic Pattern. Counterspell is super good. Any spellcaster who has this eventually learns it, or like it's just so useful in this game. I'm almost tempted to pick up Haste, but we already have Haste for our Battle Cleric. Do we want to prepare any unique spells? Okay, Spirit Guardians we definitely want. Create Food may be useful, particularly as we travel along. Spiritual Weapon, Aid, Blind, Healing Word, Bless, Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt. We don't really need damaging things as a battle cleric, because we're pretty good with our physical attacks all on our own. Okay, Cycle Ring of Necromancy. We definitely want our Warlock to attune to that. Other item we're attuned to, Peript of Master Enchanter, increases crafting speed, and you're proficient with the Manical and Rosary, which is a tool proficiency for being used to craft magic weapons and armor. You see, every so often as we travel, we stop to rest and stuff. And if you see on the left, it's basically saying what your characters are doing. Yeah, Yeah, while traveling overhead, having things like create food or a good berry are useful because it just automatically adds to your food. Ah, and he has finished crafting the Frostburn dagger. That is great. You can also find food rations via the survival skill. Do we want to fight these orcs? I mean, more experience is always good, so yes, and possible treasure. So just to know quickly, in this game, there used to be this mighty elven empire, but then a cataclysm happened that opened a rift between worlds, and now there's only Badlands left. A multinational alliance of various kingdoms have come together to make a council tasked with the purpose of overseeing the Badlands and regulating travel through it. A bunch of adventurers, a cottage industry of adventurers has sprung up, tasked with retrieving various artifacts and other stuff from the Badlands. What else to say? And basically, that's what our characters are sort of doing. We did find a magical crown called the Crown of the Magister, what this game is named for. And there are other things, like, for example, there are shape-shifting lizard creatures from the original world the humans immigrating from, known as the Sorax, who are up to no good and doing stuff. But basically, what you need to know is the Badlands are basically the area we are in now. The Orc Berserkers seem to be by far the most dangerous types of enemies, which is why we are focusing quite a bit on them. Oh, I should have used Malediction first. That's basically the OGL-friendly version of Hex. You deal additional damage when you attack someone. Okay. How do I want to handle this? If I... Okay, if I go up here, I'll have higher elevation, so I should be able to hit them. That should at the very least kill the archer.
This is destiny.
Nice, it killed both of them. Well, where we want at least sneak attacks, so... Nah, it's not worth it. But this hellish rebuke is certainly worth it. They took an awful lot of damage just from a counterattack. Right, let's at least move here so we're in melee with both for sneak attack purposes.
More coming your way.
Of course, I know they're going to be knocked back a bit, but hey. Uh-oh, the game is lagging a bit. Oh, he seems to be standing up. Okay, that's good at least. The funny thing is, much like Overland Travel and tabletop RPGs, since you are separated by long rests for most of them, you can afford to go all out on a lot of these battles. These battles tend to vary widely in difficulty. There are some unlucky low-level players who got ambushed by 10 thugs, or fighting 2 Remmer has. But overall, I'd say most of these wilderness encounters aren't wildly unbalanced, which I'm happy to say. You may notice I don't always take everything. Well, there's actually a game metagame concept and an in-lore universe, a faction of people known as the Scavengers, who basically move in and take all the various treasures that adventurers can't lug back themselves. They share the profits, in exchange for proceeds for convenience. So basically, things you don't pick up will be picked up by the scavengers, which would have the same effect as going back to civilization and selling them, but at a reduced price. So yeah, a lot of times I don't pick up things like armor, which may otherwise be expensive, but just because they are so heavy that oftentimes it's not worth it. It does cut back on people traveling to and from the very same dungeon, picking stuff up just so they can sell it back in civilization. So yeah, it's also a convenient quality of life thing. Okay, yeah, the cleric with create food, even though it's a higher level slot, is acting very much like our good berry. Our food units almost never perish now. Also, just so you know, I have been streaming this for about 2.5 hours, so I may stop it maybe in the next half hour. I don't know. But you're like one of the first 2 people to join, and you're very animated and interesting in this conversation, so I'm also tempted to just stick around more too on that account. Alright, even encumbered, we have a dash, so let's try and hit one of these people.
You like it?
Oh, one other thing, you can eventually learn the game stats of people if, basically after every enemy encounter, your character with the highest survival modifier rolls survival to see if they can identify things about an enemy. And you can see its knowledge. 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4. The more things you learn about an enemy, the more of their game stats are revealed. And once you get all 4, you basically know everything about him. There is, of course, a spell, 4th level spell available to wizards and possibly some other classes where you instantly know everything, but I do find it a bit odd why they use survival, because normally in most D&D games they use various knowledge-based skills like, say, religion for undead, arcana for elementals, stuff like that. Okay, we can get 4 of them at once this way. Good. What will you do? We will shoot the weakest looking of the lot.
You lose.
Alright, we have just a warlord and 2 berserkers. It's like the warlord is going to try climbing up and engaging our cleric in battle. Ouch. I mean, you can still sort of have pack meal party members. There are feats in this game, including one that doubles their carrying capacity, but yeah. Oh yeah, almost every feat in this game is also custom created due to, you know, feats not being SRD compliant. So yeah, every 4th level you can choose whether or not you gain your ability score increase or a choice of feat. And sadly, not all feats are created equal. There are some feats that are not worth taking, and some that are like a no-brainer for most builds. One feat that is really good is called Flawless Concentration, where you auto-succeed on concentration checks if they deal 10 or less damage to you. Which, as you can imagine, is super good. Okay. Actually, I want to... Did I prepare a spiritual weapon? No, I did not. Okay, I'm just gonna cast... Okay, I'm gonna risk it. The risk was worth it. Right, this way they will now start automatically taking radiant damage when they move in. Okay, I'm going to be smart and cast Malediction. And with Repelling Blast, I should push him off the cliff, ideally. Yes! And he's dead. Good, they wasted their action shoving.
Another victory. This is destiny.
Okay, how do I want to do this? I want to do it this way. Don't know whether or not Barbarian's Reckless Attack does advantage on attacks, but I don't know if it's like advantage on whatchamacallit. If it would also do advantage on shove attempts or not. Yes. Yep, he's good as dead. Alright. I don't know if this is the proper angle. Oh well, that missed. And they are in melee, so sneak attack should apply.
Again, harder!
So the funny thing is, when playing Lost Valley at least, these warlords were showing up as enemies even when we were like at the max level for this game, which as of now is I think 12th. Actually, their previous max level was 10th. But a lot of these enemies, much like 5th edition, even low level enemies can still be used in higher level campaigns. It just sometimes they become more numerous. Okay, our cleric is dying. That is not a good sign. Fortunately, our other party members all have potions. Yay! It was a bit of a delay, but it got the job done. Oh, we can't use a potion unless we identify it. Dang it. Oh. There you go, Kiana. Even though they're dying, they're still prone, so they can still take advantage on attack rolls if someone melees them, which may not be the best thing, as that's probably going to... Oh, guess it's not going to happen.
You'll surely prevail.
Man, this is a very tough warlord. Oh boy. We need all the help we can get, even though they are heavily damaged. Alright. Hopefully this one does it.
You cannot defeat me.
I love how we just keep repeatedly pushing them off. It's kind of funny. We should get disadvantage on melee since they're prone. Ah. They're still just barely alive. And that's the last of our shields, but since we are between long rests in these wilderness encounters, not too bad for us. Oh, I should have done Reckless. Good. That was a long time coming. Ooh, plate armor. Very fancy. Very expensive. Oh god, we now have a heavy load. That'll really decrease our mobility. Since we have nobody in the party who is proficient with heavy armor, we're just going to sell it off. Okay. More shaffling. Alright, everybody. Time to leave. Alright, we're almost at the outpost. There's just one more day, and we are now long resting. Normally there's like one enemy encounter every 3 in-game days of travel. So, since this is 8 days and we had 3 random encounters, that's a good amount. This was an outpost we visited much earlier on, if I recall. No, this isn't the place we want to be. The side quest, the Manicalan Ruin, is where we want to be. Apologies if a lot of this footage is just me doing random encounters, but the past 2 hours of this stream I was mostly doing like the main story stuff and dungeons, so I guess it all evens out. Okay. Ideally, we should hit the archer and take him out, or heavily wound him. Vibing, playing Dwarf Fortress 2. That's a game I have never played before, but I've heard very good things about. Hope you're having fun with it.
Arcana Encho Minure. Arcana Evo Maldi.
I thought you could fight.
I missed. My original party was much less optimized. I had basically sorcerer, fighter, ranger, and fighter, ranger, sorcerer, and life cleric. Not necessarily the most offensively minded. This one I had much better understanding on, not just about 5th edition, but also what things in this game exist that aren't necessarily in base 5th edition, so I deliberately made my party a lot more balanced and also a lot more offensively minded. I also did want to try out some of the new classes that were available in the DLC, like the Barbarian and Warlock in particular. Okay, they're all surprised, so we're gonna try that again. Another guiding bolt. And once again, we miss. We seem to be cursed.
Arcana Evo Maldi.
And once we start fighting in places with like cliffs and stuff, that repelling blast is going to be so fun and useful. Right, that's another hit. Alright, we are doing very good against these orcs.
I am unbeatable. Misaye, Evo, Believe.
Hopefully this hits, and it should be just enough. And it is.
Arcana, Evo, Malice.
Yes.
That's the way.
No, I want to have each of them go one at a time. No, they're going as a group. Oh well. Some of these side quests go back to places you've earlier explored, in this case, prior dungeons, but they sometimes have new encounters. Some dungeons in this game, not all, get repopulated, partially as a result of these side quests. These were some old elven ruins, or maybe not necessarily elven, but seem to be from some highly magical civilization. As a result, much like that outpost, we see that it's now restocked with other people and things. There is an enchantment manuals merchant who is going to be very useful because we can buy all sorts of recipes from him. Check it out, so many different things. So what do we want? Dagger of Acuteness. Acuteness is basically a term for like +1 weapon in this game, and if accuracy in the case of ranged weapons and sturdiness in the case of... Okay, we definitely want a breastplate of sturdiness. Punisher battle axe. I like the sound of that. So too to Stormblade. Lightbringer Greatsword does bonus radiant damage. That would be very useful for our barbarian. Wand of the War Mage. I forgot what that is. Let me quickly look it up. Okay, we definitely want that. Okay, Black Viper is a rapier that deals bonus necrotic damage that can be very useful for a battle cleric. Okay, Warden Blade is very useful because it allows us to cast Spirit Guardians once per day. Wait, where is it? Sorry, I just lost it. Pretty sure I didn't buy it either. Okay, there it is. Alright, that should be enough. Since this is a dungeon we've been through, we can fast travel through key sections of it. We are going to fast travel all the way to the Crown Room, which was the place where we found the namesake of this entire video game. Oh, you might notice something. There is a bunch of fire elementals down there. Spooky. Well, not just fire elementals, but what looks to be like fire snakes, fire drakes, all sorts of fiery things. Pretty sure... Oh, our corrosive bolt will work. It's acid, not fire. Alright, how do we want to do this? First, we want to cast Fiendish Vigor. We want to cast an Enhanced Bless. We also want to cast Spirit Guardians on ourselves. Oh. Surprise round off. As they're all fire, sadly we can't use Fireball on them. Pretty sure they're all immune to fire damage. We are going to cast Spiritual Weapon and put it in the middle here. That way when they start coming up, it'll be within striking distance. Already got one down. Feeling very good about that.
Clumsy idiot!
we're going to move our dwarf down here. Hopefully he gets the majority of melee attention, leaving our other characters to fire off and back. Okay. Alrighty. Hit him for quite a bit of damage. Sadly, everyone but our rogue is now spotted. Game's delaying again. Always seems to happen just before the enemies are going. I guess it's calculating what they're going to do on their turn, but they're surprised, so I don't exactly know why. These fire ospreys are like flying snakes. Their melee attacks can make you catch fire, oftentimes forcing you to waste an action to extinguish yourself. Since the fire osprey is close and a pretty big threat, let's try and take it out.
I am unbeatable.
We're stealthy, so we'll get another, or rather, you can see. Okay, it's immune to paralysis. That is not good for the weapons we're using, so let's switch to normal ammo. Okay. Yeah, even with Blessed, that's disappointing roll. Right, the fire jesters are coming up. Don't know why they're called fire jesters. They look more like small, tiny people. Like fire halflings, maybe? I'd probably call them that. I feel the sense that this one will drop in one hit.
Victory is yours.
And I am correct. Light Sprite. Resistance to fire and poison damage. This is perfect for that. I should have equipped a Frostburn dagger in this case. That would have been so useful. Could have killed it, I am confident. Huh. It can double attack? Okay. try and get out the small fire jesters at least. We'll make battle go a lot faster with less enemies on the field. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a shield. Magic Missile feels worth it. Definitely worth it.
Touché!
So, unrelated, as it's an SRD subclass, the Berserker Dwarf is still a valid barbarian option. However, one distinct thing I've noticed that differs is a lot of people are saying it's worthy, whereas it has been a very ill-regarded subclass in typical 5th edition due to exhaustion levels. While I think exhaustion sort of exists in this game, it's something I've never really seen. So I forget if the Berserker Dwarf has some different mechanic or not, because exhaustion levels, as there a stacking debuff with different effects, would probably be hard to program. I can quickly look it up, but right now I'm trying to get through this battle. Because a lot of people like the bonus attack action that the Berserker Barbarian gives. Alright, the fire elemental's nearly dead. Alright, in time now. I may take a break soon. This game has really been lagging a lot.
How does that feel?
Ooh, that's a definite mighty strike.
More coming your way.
Okay, pause the game, rapidly extinguish the people on fire. Done. And now on one of the monster's bodies should be what we came here for. Okay, let's check this. This is the origin of the crown. We found ancient inscriptions, and we must return to a quest board. Notes taken from the pedestal where we found the crown. Well, this has been slightly over 3 hours. We completed a major dungeon. We also completed a good side quest, which will give us a handy haversack. We are also gained a level. So I think this is a good time to call it a night. As usual, it's been fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching. The next stream will be this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, Quasar Night out.